The American Heart Association, or AHA, is a name synonymous with cardiovascular well-being. For decades, they have been at the forefront of raising awareness about heart disease. They have tirelessly promoted healthy lifestyle choices. Their research and advocacy have undoubtedly saved countless lives. Yet, recent events have cast a long shadow of doubt on this venerable institution. Their stance on a Texas bill restricting junk food purchases through SNAP benefits has sparked controversy. This has raised questions about their commitment to public health over potential corporate interests. The AHA's mission statement emphasizes a world free of cardiovascular diseases and stroke. They advocate for healthy eating habits as a cornerstone of this mission. Their website is replete with information on heart-healthy diets. They emphasize the importance of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. They caution against excessive consumption of sugar, salt, and saturated fats. Their dietary guidelines have long been considered the gold standard for a healthy heart. However, their recent actions seem to contradict this very message. This begs the question, can an organization truly champion public health while seemingly aligning itself with industries that contribute to the very diseases it aims to prevent? The answer is complex and requires a closer look at the events that have unfolded, the motivations behind them, and their implications for the future of public health advocacy. We must examine the fine line the AHA walks between promoting well-being and maintaining ties with powerful corporate entities. The health of millions, particularly those most vulnerable, hangs in the balance. In the heart of Texas, a legislative battle is brewing. At the center of this storm is Texas Senate Bill 379. This bill aims to restrict the purchase of junk food using SNAP benefits. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, helps low-income families afford groceries. However, the inclusion of sugary drinks and unhealthy processed foods has raised concerns. Critics argue this contributes to poor health outcomes among SNAP recipients. Texas SB 379 seeks to address this issue head-on. The bill proposes limiting SNAP purchases to foods deemed nutritious. This includes fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and whole grains. Sugary drinks, candy, and processed snacks would be excluded. Proponents of the bill argue that it promotes healthier eating habits among SNAP beneficiaries. They believe this will lead to lower rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. The bill has garnered both praise and criticism. Supporters view it as a crucial step towards addressing the growing public health crisis of diet-related diseases. They argue that it empowers individuals to make healthier choices. Opponents, however, raise concerns about government overreach and limiting personal freedom. They argue that SNAP recipients should have the autonomy to choose their own food, even if those choices are deemed unhealthy. The debate surrounding Texas SB 379 highlights the complexities of navigating public health policy, individual liberty, and corporate interests. The American Heart Association, an organization renowned for its commitment to heart health, took an unexpected stance on Texas SB 379. Initially, they opposed the bill, arguing that it would create unnecessary barriers to food access for low-income families. This position seemed to contradict their long-standing advocacy for healthy diets and their warnings about the dangers of sugary drinks and processed foods. Alec Puente, the AHA's government relations director, testified against the bill. He expressed concerns that restricting food choices would discourage SNAP participation. This, he argued, could lead to food insecurity among vulnerable populations. Puente's testimony surprised many, as it seemed to prioritize access to food over the nutritional quality of that food. This position sparked a wave of criticism from public health advocates who accused the AHA of prioritizing political expediency over its core mission. Following the public outcry, the AHA issued a swift retraction of their previous stance. They clarified their support for policies that promote healthy food choices. The organization maintained that their initial opposition stemmed from concerns about unintended consequences on SNAP participation. However, the damage was done. The AHA's flip-flop eroded public trust and raised questions about their true motivations. Critics pointed to the organization's financial ties to the food industry, suggesting a conflict of interest. This incident highlighted the delicate balance between public health advocacy and corporate influence. The AHA's controversial stance on Texas SB 379 brought to light a troubling question. To what extent do corporate interests influence public health organizations? The AHA, like many nonprofits, relies on funding from various sources. including corporations. While this funding supports crucial research and initiatives, it also raises concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Critics argue that corporate funding can influence an organization's priorities, leading them to prioritize industry interests over public health. In the case of the AHA, their financial ties to companies like Coca-Cola and PepsiCo raised eyebrows. These companies have long been criticized for their role in promoting sugary drinks, a significant contributor to obesity and heart disease. The AHA's initial opposition to Texas SB 379, a bill that directly challenges the interests of these companies, fueled speculation about undue corporate influence. The AHA has vehemently denied these allegations, asserting that their funding sources do not dictate their policy positions. They maintain that their decisions are guided solely by scientific evidence and a commitment to public health. However, the incident exposed a systemic issue within the public health sector. The reliance on corporate funding creates a precarious situation where organizations may face pressure to align their views with their donors, even if it means compromising their core values. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the need for greater transparency and accountability within public health organizations. The public deserves to know that these organizations are truly advocating for their best interests, free from the sway of corporate influence. The health and well-being of millions depend on it.